Morning folks, just arrived in the office Monday morning after a great weekend at New Media Europe, so I wanted to give you a quick sum up of my takeaways from it, what I thought of the event, and generally just talk about how good a weekend I had, but also to offer some value as well, hopefully. So yeah, we're away for 2 days, went down on Friday, obviously a good start. I've shared with everyone that my EasyJet flight was cancelled on the Friday, so didn't get there till about 9:30, which was a lot later. Didn't get to catch up with as many folk as I wanted to, but still found a good group in the bar of Mike and Kevin Smith and Jan Murray, so yeah, it was good fun. Still found some people to catch up with on the first night, and really that was the theme for the whole event. It was just around the community. It's a great group of people that have gathered around that event, and there's a few communities I'm involved in. I'll talk about another one obviously in a little while, about the award that I was honoured enough to pick up for Chris Marr, but the New Media Europe community as well. It's like my sort of community down in the south. And it's always great to catch up with these people, just so supportive, so friendly, just an excellent group of people. So that's really what made the event for me, always does. It's why I keep coming back and back, and obviously the quality of the event as well. So yeah, it kicked off on the Saturday morning with Dan Miller. A good bit of inspiration there around finding your passion, but finding a way to make your money out of it as well. So it was a lot of the messages that we're given often, but delivered in a really good way by Dan Miller. And it was a great way to kick off the day. And he gave it his own unique style, his own unique way. So yeah, it was an excellent start to the day. Moved on through a series of inspirational talks beyond that. Next was a lady I'd not come across before, but turned out to be really good, Valerie Groth, who we got in the live broadcast as well. Talked to Robert on the Spreaker broadcast. She was talking a lot about how to set yourself up to be successful, around mindset, around how you set your day up. It's quite in fashion at the moment. Well, Tim Ferriss has started out a lot, like asking what the first 60 minutes of your day look like. So it was really interesting to just go through all the mindset and the sort of well-being and health stuff that she went through. It was really interesting. Next was Phil Palin, who's always great. I love Phil's presentations. A great guy as well. So it was great to see him talking through branding. It's always really interesting seeing his insights into branding, because he's obviously a master at that. And just looking at all the examples of the clients that he's worked with, the brands that he's created, and his constant message around photography, how important it is to get your own personality into the photography on your website, and how that can really get your brand across to the public. And his Phil's laws are always good. So yeah, if you get the chance to see a presentation of his, either a video or elsewhere, then definitely worth a look. One of the surprises of the afternoon, actually, for me, was the chap from Adobe. So during Gleaves was one of the sponsor talks, and usually they can tend to be a little bit salesy possibly, but Duran actually just gave a bunch of really interesting his thoughts on the future of new media, or why is new media so new. It was really interesting actually, just around where we're going with new media, the trends that we're seeing right now around mobile, around the types of media, around VR, that type of stuff. So he was really entertaining, quite sort of self-effacing, really good sponsor talk there. And then the first day was finished up with Stephen Picanza, who was, he was great actually, it was good fun. Plenty of exclamations in there, plenty of swearing, which was entertaining. And yeah, it was just, it was great for motivation. He was just talking about the mindset and about thinking about the corporate ladder, and how we can, as entrepreneurs, just, get rid of that and take our own path, essentially. So yeah, he was a good end to the day to get everyone hyped up for the evening. And of course, that led into the awards, which were probably the highlight of the event, as usual. So the awards were excellent. It was just, they always put up, Mike and Isabel always put in such a great production for that. They just put it together so smoothly, so professionally, so slickly. From the video intros to the hosts were great actually. Really funny guys. Like, quite often you get the award hosts that end up just being a bit cheesy, a bit rubbish, but the guys were actually pretty funny. And there were some great awards given out too. I was honoured enough to go and pick up the award for the Best Community in the UK. In fact, Best Community Worldwide, I think the award was for. And that was for Chris Marr and the Content Marketing Academy, of which I'm a proud member. And I've known Chris for quite a few years now, and yeah, I was delighted, really delighted for him that he won it. I was a bit disappointed in myself. I thought I was going to do a better speech for him. I forgot to sell it for him, so maybe I'll do that a little bit now. Basically, I didn't say, I kind of suggested that maybe it was more Scotland based, but Chris is getting members internationally all across the UK. He's got such high quality people in that community, in the Content Marketing Academy, that are just helping each other as much as Chris is acting as a mentor and a teacher for those people. So if you're looking for a place to jump in, to find people of a like mind, find support, to find accountability, to find a mentor in the form of Chris and everyone else in there, then definitely get into the Content Marketing Academy and check it out as a community. And another winner of the awards that we're all delighted about was Jo Milmine, who is a good member of the UK Podcasters community, and really well-deserved award there for her knitting podcast, the Shiny Bees podcast. So yeah, that was great. But yeah, just the award ceremony was great fun. Like I say, always just a highlight of the evening. Great way to catch up with folk, and excellent food as well, actually. So yeah, it was a great night. Oh, and I almost forgot, Chris Ducker won the Influencer of the Year award, which is great news for the youpreneurs that were there, people from his community. So yeah, congratulations to Chris out there for winning that award, down to the quality of his community as well, I think. But on to the second day. First thing I went to was caught a bit of Ian Anderson Gray's first talk. I'll always love Ian's stuff. Ian's a great guy. So yeah, it was really interesting going through the tools and stuff that he uses to manage his social media. He's a real tools master. He knows it all there. He's got so many great tips of all these things that, even though I've seen him speak before, still things come up that I just have never heard of. So he's always exploring new tools every single year. So yeah, it's always good to see him talk. Next, it was on to Marta Krasnodebska, I think it is, and she was talking about social media too, but how to grow your social media in a non-cheesy, non-sleazy way. And really sort of knocking it out of the park there in terms of teaching people how to put together their social media strategy and make sure that it's personal, that it's you, that it's not, just tons of automated things going out there that just don't really mean anything, that it's more around what you're like and around your brand as well. Next, we came on to the panel, of course, that I was running with some great folks. I had Bo York from Satchel on there. I had Kevin Field from Radio Skills for Podcasters, Ben Green from the football show at The Guardian, and Anna Piazza from Spreaker as well. Yeah, 4 great panellists, and it was my first time doing a panel. Really enjoyed it, actually. It was a good experience. It was good fun directing the conversation and trying to get good answers out of people. One thing I'd probably change for next time is to maybe get some more audience feedback coming in. Got a couple of people giving me that tip for later. We've got some questions at the end, but probably would have been good to get some more feedback in during the panel, so that mixed things up a bit. But got some great insights from all the panellists. Kevin had a couple of highlights around the future of podcasting, around sort of where maybe more personalised radio is going to come into podcasting, as in podcasting maybe take over from radio and it'll just be a more personalised experience, maybe going away from the on-demand so much to more just automated again, like people just wanting to just press play on their phone and get a stream of shows that are around interests related to them, so that discoverability doesn't become an issue, that they can just just listen to something and it's actually just tailored for that person. So yeah, some really interesting insights there from that panel. After the lunch, I went to see Janet Murray's presentation around PR. Janet's always great. She knows everything there is to know about getting PR. She's an ex-journalist, worked in the industry for over a decade, I think. So she knows how to get a story in the paper. So she had lots of good tips in there, a lot of it around just actually how to find journalists. So using things like the journal requests hashtag on Twitter, search that hashtag and start monitoring it for requests around your area. Get to know journalists, go to the events and actually try and meet journalists, because they get hundreds of requests every single day. So if you can get there, make a bit of a personal connection, then you've got a much better chance in future of getting that PR. But yeah, Janet's got a lot of material out there. She's got a podcast, a blog, so you can find lots more about how she works with getting people PR on her podcast. I managed to catch a little bit of Mark Asquith's presentation as well around creating a website that converts, and I saw the hype around that on Twitter, so he obviously delivered a great workshop there around just how to plan out a website, how to make sure that you're creating it in a way that draws people through, that encourages them to take action and does something that you want them to do, whether it's buy a product, whether it's sign up to the email list, whatever it is that you want people to do in a website. Finally, the one that finished up for me, and one of the highlights of the whole weekend actually, was Tony Brown and his Systematise Your Way to Success. So he was talking about thinking about the things that you do in your business that are a bit repetitive, that you can outsource, about freeing up time by creating standard operating procedures, which, that term just tends to bore people to tears straight away as soon as you hear it, but just he highlighted how important it was to think about this and how to create these procedures, just thinking about how to create a spreadsheet with all the steps, helping somebody to go through them, and they ask you questions so you clarify at the right places, ending up with this set of steps which you can give to anyone, any outsourcer that can then essentially run your business for you. So you are the one that's running, overseeing the whole thing while people are actually doing the instrumental, systematized bits of your business for you. And that's what lets you free up time to do the strategy, to actually grow the business, to put your personality in there and create something great. So that's what finished up for me. Had a Youpreneur meetup at the end actually. Great to meet up with that community again as usual. Organised by Coralie and Kelly. So thanks for doing that, guys. But yeah, that finished up. I headed off. I had to zoom off quite early. But yeah, Mike and Isabella, great weekend. Always great to catch up with you guys. You're just going from strength to strength with that thing. And it sounds like it might be in Poland next year, which could be excellent. Good fun out there. So yeah, congratulations. Thanks again for putting on such an event. It brings together such amazing people. And I look forward to the next year's one where I'll see everybody again. I'll hopefully see them sooner than that. But yeah, cheers. I hope that was useful.